morning there, sweet peas. Basic prepper mom Myra. Sorry I've been MIA for a while, but there's just been a lot going on as usual. And this week I started working full-time because it is tax season and I work for tax people, so here we are. Anyway, good old government's got to get their share. Anywho, whole nother subject for a whole nother day. So my daughter and I just got back from SHOT Show in Vegas. And for those of you who don't know what SHOT Show is, and I think maybe last year I posted a couple of videos on here when we went. This is our third year going. The first year it was just my daughter and I. That was our first year. Last year it was my husband, my daughter, and myself. And this year it was just my daughter and myself again. So SHOT Show is a huge convention in Vegas. It is an industry-only event, which means that the general public is not allowed in. So people aren't just let in for anything. You have to be invited, you have to be in the industry, and they are very strict as who they let in. I mean, you have to prove that you are with the industry. Like, we had to jump through hoops to say, yeah, we're, my daughter, my 24-year-old daughter owns her own business, owns her own shop, which and she's been in the firearm industry working since she was 18 years old. She's 24, but she's grown up with firearms and shooting sports and stuff like that. So she had to jump through hoops, and she's like, I own my business, like I am in the industry. I don't know how much more I can say this. So they're very picky on who they let in. They do have a lot of law enforcement, military personnel that are there as well. And there are 2 whole convention rooms that are dedicated to just specifically military and law enforcement. But it is all just professionals in the shooting industry or in the firearm industry for in whatever capacity. So we went, and it was so crowded. I have to say, I don't think there were this. I'd be really curious to see what the numbers are compared to last year, because I don't think there were this many people last year. Like, you could not walk, you could barely get up to any of the booths. I mean, it was just, and we're talking, this convention is huge. There are over 10,000 vendors. They take up 2 convention centers, multiple floors and levels at each convention center. So it's not just a big room and everybody's there. It is literally, and we kept getting lost. We couldn't find our way out. I mean, it was crazy. But there were just a ton of people there. Now, having said that, I have a point to this. I really do. Having said that, this let me know, and like I said, I'd like to see what the numbers are compared to last year and even the year before, but I swear there were more people here. That tells me that there are more and more people that are getting into the industry, that have to do with the industry, that feel the importance of being in the industry, that feel the importance or the need or the urgency to be protected, well regulated. I don't want to say well regulated, but to be protected, to be well informed and equipped. That's what I was trying to go for. So it was very encouraging, I guess, because to be quite honest, with my daughter being in the industry and with the way things are going, especially in California, I was a little worried with her buying this business and taking it over, because I was like, oh my word, like, I was very skeptical, like how successful can you be? But this actually renewed my well-being, I guess, in thinking, okay, she'll be okay. Plus, she's super knowledgeable. She's, I mean, she is absolutely smart, incredible. She blows me away at how smart she is in the firearm industry. Like, she just is amazing, especially for only being 24 years old. Anyway, so went to SHOT Show, did all that, came back super exhausted. And then I've had a few conversations about the incident or about what's going on in Texas. Now, let me just tell you right now, everybody is focusing on Texas and the border, the southern border in Texas. Everybody's focusing on that border in Texas and the problems in Texas. Let me just say, we are no better here in California than Texas. We have just as many people coming across here as in Texas. We have probably more people And once they come over in Texas, they're probably coming over here because, you know, they can now get free health care. Don't have to prove anything. Don't have to prove who you are, but we're going to give you free health care. However, my family has to pay out a fortune every month just to be able to have health insurance. And not even great. It's okay health insurance. It's not great health insurance, but it's okay. So it's very frustrating for me and my family or people like me to really have any kind of sympathy for anybody coming across, which to be honest, I'm sorry, I don't anymore. I used to have a little bit, but I don't anymore. I don't. There are those very innocent people that come over, they just want to be here. I understand that, but I'm done. I'm done with what's coming across the border and what we're seeing. I'm done. As a matter of fact, the ATF and DOJ, I think it's more ATF actually. We now, or my daughter, since she has her own shop, actually has to report certain firearms that are being bought and sold to them specifically for the purpose of tracking cartel type firearms being brought across the border, which I'm like, okay, those are illegal. They probably don't have any serial numbers on them, and they aren't going to go through a store in order to get them. So that's their guys that, oh, we're just tracking, making sure the cartel is, you know, that it's not going to take advantage, whatever. Yeah, okay, sure. You do you, boo. I don't think that's the reason, but, you know, it is what it is. Just another excuse for them to track stuff. But what do I think about the southern border? Well, I think that there's talk about these caravans, and there's been videos that I've seen about these caravans of truck drivers that are going down to the southern border in Texas. There's another caravan that I saw that had like RVs and campers with flags and just pickup trucks, just lines and lines, and just people heading down there. Then there was another video that I saw that said, oh, the farmers in Texas are standing up, and it was like 3 rows of tractors, just, you know, farm grade tractors and combines and stuff like that, all lined up with their lights on with signs. Well, you couldn't read the signs, and somebody had captioned it, oh, Texas is standing up. Well, that video was actually not from Texas. It wasn't even here in the United States. That actually was filmed about the farmers over in overseas, I think in Germany, but I can't remember, that are basically standing up against the government because the government is putting all these sanctions and all these regulations on their farming. And they've been going to the government buildings and basically dumping manure all over the steps and bringing all their tractors in. So you have to be super careful about what you're listening to, what you're watching, and what you're thinking, and what your perception is, or what other people's perception is of the situation that's going on. Do I think that there's a big caravan that's heading down there? Probably, because we did see the trucker caravan, and it wasn't huge, but it actually stopped in our area here. The truckers that were protesting and coming across, basically driving across the United States. And so I do think that there's probably some people that are going down there. I don't know to what extent. I've seen other videos or other pictures of, you know, guys in full military garb that are supposed to be the standing by tanks and stuff, or not tanks, but military trucks, who are supposed to be the Texas National Guard. And the caption is waiting on the federal government, and they're completely armed up. They're completely ready. Looks like they're ready for battle. In front of some razor wire, and it says, you know, we're standing ready for the federal government, or something like that. And that could definitely be a trigger for people, but you don't know necessarily that that's a situation. They might have been just standing watch over that crossing at that particular area, had nothing to do with the federal, you know, they could just be doing their job, right? But there's going to be these triggers. There is a lot that's going on that we definitely need to be concerned about, but not focused on and not freaked out about. Definitely need to, I think, make sure that you've got what you need. There is, I guess, the Chinese are trying to cyber attack us, and our government or our whatever keeps intercepting their cyber attacks. They're saying that their main focus of that cyber attack is to actually attack our water systems and our water treatment plants and stuff like that. So I don't know how much of that is true, how much of it is not, but maybe, water source now needs to be kind of put top priority. Make sure that you do have enough water. I'm fortunate enough to have some water barrels that I have acquired, but to be honest, they've just been sitting outside. I told my husband this morning, we have this big, massive storm that's coming through, and to be quite honest, it's been kind of like, it's just kind of drizzling right now. It's not, but it's supposed to rain for like 6 days straight. So I need to get those barrels kind of set up and have a system to where I'm collecting water in them and at least put them off to the side. So that's just kind of something to think about, to put in the back of your brain. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. Whether it's as severe as that, I don't know. But we do know that hacking is possible. We do know that cyber attacks are possible because it's happened in the past and we've seen that. So our systems are pretty vulnerable here. Our power grid systems, our water systems, anything that's tied to a government entity or an agency or a utility company, they're very susceptible to any kind of cyber attack. So we need to make sure that whether it's power, water, whatever the situation, that we have enough of what we need to be able to survive whatever comes our way. We need to make sure that we are as self-sufficient as possible, even if it is for only 30 or 60 days. Make sure that you've got enough fuel for a generator, make sure that you've got candles, lanterns, make sure that you've got a heat source, especially here, we're in the wintertime. Make sure that you have an alternate heat source that's not just flipping a switch. Make sure you have alternative cooking sources, and don't just have one, have several, have a couple of different alternatives to heating and cooking, because you'd never want to focus on just one source. That's where your plans kind of will, if that source happens to not be there, then you're kind of dead in the water and you don't know what to do. Also, really ramp up on your stocking up of hard copies of either printing stuff off the internet right now, putting it in a binder, which I've talked about in the past. Have your binder for, medical. I've got a red binder for medical. I've got a blue binder for different water filtration or water whatever. I've got a green binder for recipes, food, things like that, gardening. So you can have, you color coordinate however you want. I just do that because it's easier to look at the binder and go, okay, wait, I need this. Okay, I need to grab that color, and that'll tell me what I need. So print out what you need to, instructions, directions, recipes, safety issues, first aid stuff, get your books, get your library in order. Do that now while we can, in case something does happen where everything goes down. We can still survive. We can still be self-sufficient. We can still even work on each other. And of course, grow your communities, grow your network of people, and need to stock up, continue stocking up and storing up to prepare for whatever comes our way. All right, that's what I have to talk about today. I hope you guys have a wonderful, amazing day. For now, I'm going to go into work and start my day, but if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out. I hope you guys have a wonderful, amazing day, and stay dry out there. Have a great day.